Hi, and welcome to this edition of the Des Moines Register Wrestling video blog. I'm your host, Chris Cuellar. Today with me, as usual, is wrestling reporter Andy Hamilton. Andy, we're looking at a huge slate of college wrestling coming up this week, including a major duel for the Hawkeyes, so why don't you tell us about that?
Yeah, Iowa goes down to Oklahoma State on Sunday. The Cowboys ranked number 2, Hawkeyes number 4. Two most storied programs in college wrestling. It should be a shootout down there with, it looks on paper like it's pretty even. Both teams favored at 5 weights. It could come down to bonus points, making the difference. Last year, the Cowboys edged the Hawkeyes on criteria to end their lengthy winning streak that had covered more than 3 seasons. So, there are always fireworks when Iowa and Oklahoma State get together. It probably will be no different this year on Sunday.
Is this the biggest duel of the season for an Iowa team so far?
Yeah, probably. Iowa's coming off a shootout the other night against Ohio State, 22-9. The Hawkeyes beat Ohio State on Friday night. It'll be a duel of that caliber, maybe a little bit more from the standpoint of tradition and accolades, things like that. So, I think it's one of those duels that every year, college wrestling fans have an eye on this meet.
Iowa State's got a big swing out east. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, the Cyclones go Friday to Rutgers, and then they go Sunday and take on Drexel and Penn in Philadelphia. It's a duel where the Cyclones can, or a swing out east where the Cyclones can gain some momentum, particularly in some cases individually. It's a good weekend maybe for John Meeks to turn things around a little bit. He's on a stretch here where he hasn't won a match in a couple months and kind of going through some freshman struggles, but the guy's ultra talented, and a chance for maybe him to get a little bit of a winning streak going. And then from Kyvan Gadsden's standpoint, at 197 pounds, another chance for him to maybe move up in the rankings.
He's kind of become a headliner.
Yeah, another chance for him to move up the rankings. He's at 11 right now. He's got a chance to take on Micah Burok, who's number 7 of Penn. That's the older brother of Iowa, 197-pounder Nathan Burok. So that'll probably be the marquee match of the trip for the Cyclones.
Tell me any other colleges in action?
Yeah, Northern Iowa goes out to Colorado for a 2-meet swing out there against Northern Colorado and Air Force. And then in Springfield, Illinois, this weekend is the national duels for the other classes. Wartburg and Grandview are top seeded in Division III and NAIA respectively, and then Iowa Central is the number 2 seed in junior college.
So plenty of action there. And any high school, let's hit that.
Yeah, the tournament's all over the place this weekend, but beginning Thursday night, we've got a big duel here on the outskirts of town out in Pleasant Hill. Southeast Polk ranked number 1 against number 7 Ankeny. It should be a really fun duel. Last year I covered the meet up in Ankeny, and it was one of the most intense environments that I'd ever been around for a high school duel. And a couple schools that there's there's a strong rivalry there. There's a lot of community pride with those two schools, and both teams are wrestling well right now. Ankeny's coming off a win at the Sioux City East Invitational where the Hawks knocked off Minnesota Class A number 1 Jackson County Central, and Southeast Polk's coming off probably the biggest win in its school history by winning the Cheesehead up in Wisconsin and beating the other 2 top-ranked teams in Minnesota. So it's going to be a fantastic duel from an environment standpoint. And then shifting gears to Saturday's tournament series, or this weekend's tournament series, I think 5 of the top 10 teams in 3A are going to be in Geneseo, Illinois, competing over there. And then otherwise, within state borders, it seems like teams are scattered all over the place. I think I counted the top 10 teams currently in the 2A rankings are at 10 different tournaments, if I'm not mistaken. So you can find a pretty good team somewhere wherever you go almost this weekend.
Sounds like you can head out to any number of towns and find a pretty good matchup. The college teams are scattered all over the place, but there's some big high school matchups around the state. Andy, thanks for joining us.